Good afternoon. On behalf of President Eric Lanier and the Morris College Alumni Association board members, I, Frederick Golden, come again, once again, to bring you just a little bit of hopefully inspiration or something that can encourage you throughout your week. I want to deal with this thing called broken wings, and according to Acts chapter 10, verses 42 through 43, it says, "And he ordered us to preach everywhere and to testify that Jesus is one appointed by God to be the judge of all, the living and the dead. He is the one all the prophets testified about, saying that everyone who believes in him will have their sins forgiven through his name." Now, it's quite possible that someone who may be listening to me right now, or listening to me when you get a chance, is fighting an inner battle with a ghost from your past, with things that you've done. Sometimes, especially some of us who've been through some things, and some of us who have a little more gray than we used to when we first met many moons ago. You think about the things that you've gone through in life. Some has been good, some have been bad. You made some good choices, you made some bad choices. Some choices, excuse me, you have no control over. And yet and still, the enemy is still pounding on your mind. What if? What if I had did this? What if I had married this one? What if I had done this? What if I had taken this job? And no matter how big or how bad that skeleton is of yesteryears, sometimes you just can't hide the rattling of the loud noises going on in your head. We've all sinned and come short of the glory of God. So the first thing I'm going to say to you is forgive yourself and let yourself loose. The thing I want to talk about is that we sometimes don't feel like God can use us because of what we've been through or because of what we think people know about us. Doesn't matter what your past is. Doesn't matter about what they thought about you in school. Doesn't matter about what they thought about you when you was in your 20s or 30s, or even if you're in your 20s or 30s now. Your past is your past. And sometimes in our past, we've had some broken wings. We've had some things that we just had no control over. We were trying to soar in the wind, and the wind caught us and broke our wings. So I want you to think about this before you begin to ponder or consider the fact of who knows, or that you had it, or that enough is enough, or that you can't win, or even that the party's over. No. What I've learned is that the older I've gotten, the better the party is. The older I've gotten, the more I am enjoying life, because there are things that I used to be concerned about that it's just not worth my concern anymore. I just want to live and enjoy the time that God has for me to bless and be a blessing to the people that are around me. Allow me to present a case in opposition to these destructive thoughts that you may be having. It is possible that you live with memories covered now by the sands of time, covered now by distant past, covered now by many moons that have gone and will not return, of maybe illicit relationships or financial failures or terrible habits or scandalous involvements. It does not even matter. If God brought you through it, then you are through with it. Let it go. Sometimes you feel that any one of these things might mar or cripple your reputation. If some dirty details or some things of your past, who cares anymore? What you have done, you have done. I've come to tell people, if you did it, you did it. Just acknowledge you did it and move on. There are things that you can't change, and you sitting worried about it, it's not going to make it change. Again, he said, and he ordered us to preach everywhere. And to preach is the good news. To tell the good news that Jesus is the appointed one by God to be the judge of us all. So while we worried about who else is judging us and who's criticizing us. This state I really don't care. And I'm saying that not in a negative way, but I'm saying it in a way is that I am free from the opinions of other people. I am free from how other people think about me. I am free because I know who is the one that has the last word over my life. Wait a minute. Before you surrender your case of hopelessness or your case considering these evidence that there's some evidence that's offered in the Bible that will liberate you. First of all, take an honest look at the men and women who God used in spite of their past. Abraham, founder of Israel and tagged the friend of God, was once a worshiper of idols. Joseph had a prison record, but later became the prime minister of Egypt. Moses was a murderer, but later became the one who delivered his nation from the slavery of Pharaoh. Jephthah was an illegitimate child who ran around with a tough bunch of hoods before he was chosen by God to become his personal representative. Y'all remember Rahab? Rahab was a harlot in the streets of Jericho, but was later used in such a mighty way that God enlisted her among the members of his Hall of Fame in Hebrews 11. Still not convinced that God can take your past, no matter how bad it was? Well, check this out. You have Eli and Samuel were both poor, inconsistent fathers, but proved to be strong men of God's hands regardless. Jonah and John Mark were missionaries who ran away from hardship like cowards, but were ever so profitable later on in life. Peter openly denied the Lord and cursed him. Hear what I'm saying? Cursed him, only to return and become God's choicest spokesman among the early years of the infant church. Look at these people. Paul was so hard and vicious in his early life that the disciples and the apostles refused to even believe he had actually become a Christian. He was so bad when he did get saved, folk didn't believe he was saved. But you know how great God used him. I could go on and on about people in the Bible that were not as awesome as they turned out to be in the end. And I want to say that to you. There is awesomeness in you. There is greatness in you. I don't care how bad your wing may be broken. I don't care how long ago you broke it. I come to tell you today that you are healed. You are delivered. You are set free. Stop walking around complaining and stop walking around with your hand in a sling when all you got to do is remove that which is holding you back. Take the sling off. God has already healed you. God has already delivered you. Take the mindset of negativity off and allow God to breathe on you again so that you can get everything that God has for you. Again, on behalf of President Eric Lanier and the board members of the Morris College Alumni Association, I bring you a word of encouragement. Broken wings don't stay broken forever. You shall fly again. Have an awesome day, and may God continue to bless you and keep you. And if you need me, you know where to find me. I'll pray for you, I'll lift you up, and I'll let you know that you are somebody, because God don't make no jump. Have an awesome day.